5 p.m. matches are just about to get underway. Falkirk, Dundee and Kilmarnock, St Mirren. Celtic versus Livingston is also underway in a minute. It's one of our featured commentaries this evening, online only. You can find the link at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. It's just about to start with Pat Bonner and Kerdine Idsan.
This is Sports Sound.
To the left, that's a brilliant goal!
Celtic versus Livingston. Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Good evening, everyone. Well, the lights have just gone out at Celtic Park. That's just so that the Celtic huddle can be illuminated in dark green. Livingston in the other half in pitch black at the moment, just waiting for the floodlights to come back on and waiting to get underway. The big match atmosphere in the east end of Glasgow. We are about to get underway. Kerdine Idsan and Pat Bonner with you live online on BBC Radio Scotland. Loads of changes in both teams. We'll run through them in just a second, but we are just about to get underway with Livingston, who have Ryan McGowan back in the team as captain. He was on the bench about half an hour ago. As we get underway here at Celtic Park, referee Callum Scott gets things underway, and Livingston just chip the ball up. Now I'll give Celtic an early goal kick, which will allow me to quickly run through their team. Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Araujo, Trusty, Scales and Sirachi at the back, Nugren, McGregor and Engels, with Maeda and Tuneki out wide, and Chwanchara up front for Celtic, who have the ball, with Austin Trusty at the back. Celtic 9 points behind league leaders Hearts, but this one of 2 games in hand they have, and they're on the attack straight away. They'll nearly get a corner kick as Ryan McGowan's first introduction, having just been promoted from the bench and promoted to captain, is to put the ball out for a throw-in to Celtic down near the corner flag, taken quickly. Austin Trusty will spread the play out to Sirachi over on that left-hand side in an advanced position, thinks about driving the ball into the box, instead goes to Maeda, now gets it back. Here's Sirachi, can he get the ball in? Chipped and deflected, and that will be the first corner of the game after 60 seconds, Pat Bonner.
Yeah, he got into the right position, as we talked about before the game, getting to the byline, and it was almost hesitation. What was he going to do? Was he going to shoot? Was he going to cross? And he did neither, and then eventually it was blocked. It did go for the corner, but he got into a good position, which I think we talked about, that Celtic did that very well against Dundee early on, but drifted away from it later on.
Celtic looking for a strong start in these opening 90 seconds. Arnie Engels will swing the corner kick in, right-footed. Well, he won't, because the referee's seen something he doesn't like, Callum Scott, and he's just having a chat with a couple of players, one of whom I think was Austin Trusty, who's right in the mix there with a couple of Livingston defenders. So the first corner of the game taken by Engels for Celtic, and his own player there, Araujo's in the way, so it will go all the way back out to Sirachi in the middle of the pitch, midway inside that Livingston half. Now back out with the corner kick taker Engels, who'll probably want to get this on his right foot. Back to Araujo, right footed shot, good defending by Livingston, loads of golden shirted bodies back there, and Sirachi tries to go all the way back to Schmeichel. That's a horrific attempt at a back pass. It's out for a throw into Livingston, quickly taken. Muirhead up near the corner flag, and Livingston try and build. He had a wee cheeky back flick from Muirhead, comes to nothing, and that will allow Celtic to build from the back with Sirachi over on that other side.
Yeah, it was a strange ball from Sirachi. I think he was probably on his wrong foot, and it just sliced away off it out to a throw, and they tried to take it quickly, Livingston, but I thought Mirren just hold on to the ball a little bit and try and get maybe another throw in or something higher up the pitch. He tries a little back heel and just give the ball straight back to Liam Scales.
The voice of Pat Bonner, Celtic legend, well over 600 appearances for Celtic, with me, Kerdine Idsan. We are live on BBC Radio Scotland. We are online this evening. 3 goalless minutes here at Celtic Park. Celtic 0, Livingston 0. We'll run through that Livingston lineup for you in just a wee second, and maybe we can just now, as the ball goes out of play, with Jerome Prior in goals for Livingston. At the back they've got Ryan McGowan's come back in with Callum Golo and Finlayson. Danny Wilson's back in as well. Cammy Kerr debut for them as Celtic come forward. McGregor shot palmed away by the goalkeeper, and there was a couple of Celtic players lurking there. One was Tuneki, one was Chwanchara. Neither could get there. Throw into Celtic near the corner flag.
Yeah, it was a good strike. Nice set up again, just into the path of Colin McGregor. Takes the shot on nice and low and sharp, Pryor in the Livingston goal. He just did enough to get it away from an area where you're right, Celtic players were coming in just to maybe tap it in the ball, but he just got enough on it to deflect it away to the side.
Decent start from Celtic. They've had a corner kick, they've had a shot on goal, made the Livy keeper Prior work already. 4 minutes in, goalless at Celtic Park. The champions with the ball, and Trusty takes a poor touch and he's nearly dispossessed by Robbie Muirhead. Gets away with it. McGregor helps him out, and then Araujo wide on his right hand touchline. Celtic have the ball with their captain McGregor on the halfway line. Trusty, the American international, who looks like he's grown a beard now. Interesting. Sirachi over on that left hand side, also bearded. Maida back into McGregor, midway inside Livingston territory now. Celtic patient with the build up. They spread it from left over to this right side. Tunecki comes inside onto his left foot. He's crowded out though by two Livingston bodies. McGregor chip forward, in comes the chance here. Good save from the goalkeeper. Maida should score. No flag has come up there. Sirachi tries to play it in. Well, Chivanchara was in there and he missed it. It came to Maida, the header I think, and it was a good save from the goalkeeper. It was straight at him. I looked for a flag that didn't come. Another chance for Celtic goes a begging, and Livingston can't get the ball out of their own half. 5 minutes played, 0-0, but good chance at Celtic.
Oh, it was a brilliant chance. That's that ball again, and he's in. Vanchara.
Now Chanjara, good save, the goalkeeper. Well, goodness me, Livingston giving the ball away. They cannot get the ball out of their own half, and in these opening 5 minutes and 10 seconds, that's 3 decent saves from the keeper.
Good saves, but I've got to say Celtic, we talked about, I was a bit critical of them against Dundee, that they didn't make enough of those runs in behind, especially as the game went on. Today now that's 3-4 runs in behind early on, so they've done their analysis, they've seen their weakness, and they've tried it out, and they really should be a goal up. Maeda had a great chance early on. That was a brilliant chance for Civanchara. He could have done anything. The goalkeeper had sort of almost committed himself to a penalty spot. He tried maybe to give him the eyes, and the goalkeeper read it straight into his chest. And I think he also could have slipped a little pass to, I think it was Maeda that was on his left shoulder. But strikers don't do that, aren't they, when they're one-on-one with the goalkeeper? But it was a huge, huge chance. And Celtic just have to keep that going, and Livingston keep defending the way they're doing. There's goals in this game for them.
Celtic trying to exploit the uncertainty in the Livingston ranks as Stevie May will try and chase down a loose pass from Celtic. We've got Dan Finlayson playing in a slightly unfamiliar sort of left wing back position. It's a debut for Cammy Kerr over on the other side for Livingston. It's all been reshuffled a wee bit because McGowan was in off the bench. Here's Maida now. Can he get the cross in? More defending for Livingston to do. Well, Danny Wilson just hacked that away anywhere. Livingston in these opening 6.5 minutes, they're a bit all over the place, and can Celtic cash in?
Yeah, that's another ball just played over the top. The big defender Cabangola was almost caught in his heels, and Maeda was in behind again. He just had to pick somebody out, failed to do it, and the ball was sort of sliced away for a corner. But Celtic putting huge pressure on Livingston trying to get this opening goal.
7 minutes in, it's goalless, but Celtic's second corner of the game will be taken once again from the same position by Arnie Engels. It's an in-swinger deep to the back post, header goes up, Chvanchara's there. Livingston will clear it to the edge of their own area. Tunecki goes in, and that's a head knock, I think, for one of the Livingston players, and it's going to be a free kick to Livingston on the edge of their box.
Yeah, it's Danso. Yeah. He's not the biggest, is he? And just Tunecki, who's not brilliant in the air, you've got to say at times, but he was towering over him, and he just can almost hit into him as Danso just cleared the ball. So I think the referee's right to give the free kick at this occasion. But Livingston just really struggling. They're playing obviously with their back five. They've got a little bit of, with McGowan coming in there, lots of experience.
There is here as well, Livingston, are they? Liam Scales having to do a bit of defending. Robbie Muirhead trying to nip in there. Decent from Livingston. It's the first time really in these opening goalless 8 minutes that they've been up the other end of the park. They'll have a throw in, which I suspect they will launch into the Celtic penalty area.
They have the height, haven't they? Muirhead's big.
They've all gone up.
Cabangola is a big player. McGowan's big, so they have a little bit of strength. It's getting that ball into the right area and then working off the second phase.
Well, all the players bar the Livy keeper Prior and midfielder Macaulay Tate are in or around the Celtic penalty area as now the long throw comes in, the head flick, chance here for Livingston. Can he get a shot away? Stevie May might try it now. Decent shot, good save from Schmeichel. Well, goodness me, great shot on the turn, Stevie May. And Celtic, having dominated these opening 8.5 minutes and created 3 good chances of their own, were nearly undone there. Really good save from Kasper Schmeichel. Good connection from Stevie May, right-footed. Action at both ends, Pat Bonner.
Yeah, absolutely. Stevie May shows that he has got that instinct to go for goal. Here's an opportunity for Celtic.
Can he get in? The shot comes in, another palm away from the goalkeeper. Fanchara was in there. Well, it's end-to-end stuff here. Really good play from Maeda. Delivered it over to Thomas Fanchara. A wee delay on the shot. It wasn't particularly powerful. I wonder whether the goalkeeper could have held it, actually. He palmed it away, and Celtic will have their 3rd corner of the game. Seconds after Kasper Schmeichel kept the score at 0-0 from Stevie May's shot on the turn.
Yeah, 2
corners
big
taken
chances.
Quickly to the edge of the area. Marcelo Sarachi back out to Necki for Celtic. Right-footed ball in's a good one, headed away by Livingston to Sarachi at the edge of the area. Livingston on the back foot now defending. Celtic have everybody forward. Liam Scales had stayed up from that corner. He plays it to McGregor. Nearly 10 minutes played. It's still goalless, but both goalkeepers have been fully involved. Celtic make the cross in, and it's cleared away by Livingston as Killian Phillips gives St Mirren a lead against Kilmarnock. So Killie 0, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, just going back to those 2 chances, obviously the one for Livingston and you're right, Stevie May really sharp and tested Schmeichel. Was a decent save from him, and then up the other end to Necki, but didn't show conviction.
Celtic with the ball with McGregor on the edge of the area, tries a shot, blocked away. Good defending from Livingston. Danso is in the way there. Nygren chips the ball to the back post. Goalkeeper should get there no problem. Jerome Prior. Well, it's been so action-packed. We've still not run through that full Livingston team, have we? We gave you the back 5. We're talking about Finlayson kind of in this unorthodox left wing position for him, and Kerr on the other side. McGowan and Kabongolo and Finlayson as the sort of orthodox back 3. They've then got Macaulay Tate, Scott Pittman and Emmanuel Danso as the 3 in midfield, with Muirhead and May trying to get forward as often as they can for Livingston up front. And Stevie May has already pulled a great save out of Kasper Schmeichel to keep it at 0-0. That having been said, Jerome Prior has had 3 or 4 good stops already to keep the champions at bay. That's why after 11 minutes it's still 0-0 as Celtic try and get forward with Sebastian Tunecki down that right hand side. It's well defended by Finlayson. Stevie May's been pushed back towards his own corner flag. Finlayson makes a mistake. Tunecki picks it back to Nygren. Good save, diving header, Maeda. Another good save. That's unbelievable from the Livingston goalkeeper, Jerome Prior. Nygren thought he'd scored over on the right hand side to the top corner. One-handed save. It set up the diving header from Daisen Maeda either side of the goalkeeper, and it's in, but the keeper somehow got there. We've only played 11.5 minutes. Celtic have had 5 or 6 gilt-edged chances to score.
And really, there should be at least 2, if not 3 goals out of those chances. And that was a brilliant save from Prior again, just getting himself a big hand to it as it goes across him, and then it falls to Maeda, who puts the diving header in, and somehow it might have been Cammy Kerr, I think, got back in there, was it, to make the block. It was brilliant bit of defending, you've got to say, and Celtic really should be putting these at the back of the net. But incredible, 11 minutes gone, probably 6 chances, including the one from Livingston.
It's like a basketball game, up one end then up the other. It's been mainly played around the Livingston goal, as you would expect. The champions playing against a team that's stranded at the bottom of the league and have never won here in their history. However, there was also that Stevie May shot that required an excellent save from Celtic's Danish international goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel. Now the Swedish international Nygren plays a good looking ball forward, trying to get Schwanchara involved, but he just can't quite get there. And again, the Livy Lions in their yellow tops and black shorts, yellow socks, are defending that yellow and black wall as just about held firm. It's more like a blue wall of Jerome Prior at the moment, the French goalie in top form this evening, repelling Maeda twice, Schwanchara twice, Nygren as well. as he goes down claiming a foul that I don't think he's going to get. Throw in to Celtic, 13 minutes gone. Kerdy Nizan and Pat Bonner. We're online on BBC Radio Scotland. Elsewhere, St Mirren are leading at Kilmarnock, which will be news to Livingston's ears, because were they to lose here and were Kilmarnock to win that game, that would mean Livy were 9 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Celtic are interested in matters up the other end with Tunecki, who needs support from Araujo. The Mexican international right back goes to Austin Trusty and then to Liam Scales. Now then, Marcelo Sarachi, left-footed, chips it to the back post. Tunecki's there. Livy head it up in the air unconvincingly. Nygren's underneath it for Celtic. Maeda to Engels. Callum McGregor left-footed. Another good save from Jerome Prior. Well, we've played 14 minutes here, and Jerome Prior's probably made as many saves in those 14 minutes as he normally makes in an entire game.
Yeah, again, I think that was one he would probably be disappointed if he got beat, only because it's in the air, it's a nice height for him. But still, he had to make the save, and he just palmed it away to safety again, and Celtic get the corner. But it's an incredible amount of chances that Celtic have had in his opening 12-13 minutes.
Will the pressure pay off? In comes the corner, headed away by Livingston. Sarachi, edge of the area, left-footed deflection! Goal! Celtic! Marcelo Sarachi for Celtic! On 15 minutes the goal was coming. It was a massive wicked deflection. There was nothing that Jerome Prior could do about it. And finally the Livy resistance is broken. It's Marcelo Sarachi for Celtic. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and it just falls him, nobody picking him up at the edge of the box, and as the ball comes out to him, he had time to control it, pick his spot, and it goes through bodies. Jerome Prior was probably, I don't think it did actually take a deflection. What I think it happened was, unless it's come off, it's just gone through so many bodies that he was unsighted. I'm just looking at it here again. Maybe just a little slight nick to take him maybe up and over him, but certainly it was coming, wasn't it? Really, you cannot have so many chances without scoring one of them. And Celtic get that vital opener, and they're. But for me, it's evident that they've looked at their performance at the weekend and realised that they needed to make those runs in behind, and that's what they've been doing. And when you make runs in behind, then other spaces open up, people drop off, you pull people out of position, and then openings come. So yeah, it's been a really, really positive start from Celtic from an attacking perspective, and they get their goal.
Marcelo Sarachi's first goal for Celtic. He's on loan from Boca Juniors, the Uruguayan, and that gives Celtic lift off in this match. There's some defending for the champions to do at the moment, though. Livy are trying to strike back straight away, but the number of chances Celtic had, you just felt the goal was coming. And there may be another one here if Celtic can get away across the halfway line with Sebastian Tunecki. Livy are trying to get back. Tunecki plays a poor ball across. Livy can't quite get the ball away, though. Well, there were so many Livingston bodies forward there trying to get a goal back that they were nearly undone on the quick counter there by Celtic, who lead by a 1-0, 17 breathless minutes into this one.
Yeah, I think they'd be a bit annoyed, Livingston, that Ryan McGowan didn't get his foul there. It looked to me as a foul, and that allowed then Celtic to hit them on the counter attack, but at the end up to Tunecki again. It was unconvincing final ball execution from him.
Celtic in possession down their right hand side with Sebastian Tunecki, their Tunisian winger, has Araujo outside him in loads of space. Can he deliver a good ball? He can. Oh, just too close to the goalkeeper. Well, you sense that Celtic are up for this one. You sense that there are goals in this one, and Livingston are struggling to keep Celtic at bay. They
are, and that was a good ball, played across that sort of almost 4 yards out, and Sevenchara should have been running across that near post to get on the end of that, because he had Maeda and he also had Nygren, who we know that will get into the box and desperate for more goals. They were coming in behind him, so he's got to make that first run, and he didn't do it, and it was easy for the goalkeeper.
Goals in the Premiership this evening. One here for Celtic after nearly 18 minutes against Livingston. St Mirren are a goal up at Kilmarnock. No goals between Falkirk and Dundee or Motherwell and Rangers, although that one just kicked off a few minutes ago. That was an 8 o'clock kick-off there at Fir Park. Hearts, of course, the big winners yesterday at Tynecastle in the Edinburgh Derby over Hibs. That means that their lead at the top of the table. Well, it was 6 points, it's now 5 if that stays as a draw there between Motherwell and Rangers. They were 9 points clear of Celtic. That would be back to 6 if Celtic can win here. They're a goal to the good against Livingston, and they're in possession. Tunecki down this right hand side. Livingston, everybody back except one, Muirhead. Tunecki thinks about going to the byline. Can he get there? Comes back inside. He's well marked here. Now another step over, gets to the byline, too close to the goalkeeper, Jérôme Prieur, who's been probably the busiest person on this pitch so far. He's made 3 or 4 saves. Well,
good saves.
Couple of good saves, yeah.
Yep.
2 or 3 regulation that he should, and then either there was a deflection or there was an unbelievable amount of movement on that shot from Marcelo Soracci, who's got his first goal for Celtic.
Sorry, Kieran, I wouldn't blame him for the goal. It's one of those where if you don't see it as the player's hitting it and it goes through so many bodies, you've only got almost a half a second to react. I know it was straight down the middle of the goal, but it kind of was looping. There was a bit of movement on it, so I wouldn't have blamed him because he's had an unbelievable start to this game.
Here's Maeda down near the corner flag, cuts back inside. Well, could have played it in with his right foot, instead goes back to Soracci, and Livingston can reorganise. Every single Livingston player back behind the ball as Celtic have it just outside the Lions penalty area. Nice ball into Nygren, good turn, left-footed shot, palmed away by the goalkeeper. Lovely play from Nygren there. Danger's not over. Goal scorer Soracci to his captain Callum McGregor, who has Liam Scales just outside the penalty area. Thinks about a shot instead, tries to play it out to the left-hand side too. Soracci, it's picked off by Livingston. Oh, Pittman's lost it though, and a couple of Celtic tackles go in. It's a little bit scrappy, and Livingston just about survive that. Again, struggling to get the ball away from their own penalty area. They might now over on that right hand side. Cammy Kerr making his debut for Livingston after joining from Queen's Park, long-term injury victim. He's finally managed to get that shirt on, and well, what a debut to be making over at right wing back. Rangers are ahead at Fir Park. Nico Raskan has got the first goal there since October the 18th when Falkirk got 2. Finally, the Motherwell resistance at Fir Park has been broken by Nico Raskan, who has Rangers into a 1-goal lead. Celtic lead by a 1-0 here as Liam Scales thinks about going back to his goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, who will think about that excellent save that he had from Stevie May in the opening minutes when it had been all Celtic, and then a snap chance for Livingston. And that's why the Danish international is so valuable. Here comes Celtic at the other end. Maeda plays the ball across to Tunecki, sliding in, can't keep the ball down, knows he should have done better. However, the offside flag saves him.
Yeah, and again, the tactic for Celtic, just play that ball in behind that Livingston defence, and this time just maybe a half yard offside. They just gone slightly early, but you could see 2-3 players getting in behind, and then that ball coming from quality midfield passes, and it really is the tactic that's working for them in this game, and I'm just looking at Livingston. They're playing 3 at the back, but they're playing in almost like a square line. Maybe as the players is there, Ryan McGowan, Danny Wilson, that maybe lack a little bit of pace at their older age, but Celtic just able to get in at wall behind them.
Yeah, Ryan McGowan, 36 years young, was not expecting to be playing this football match, certainly not from the start. He was on the bench, he'd been dropped. Samson Lawal was in, but he got injured in the warm-up. So McGowan not only started this evening, he's the Livingston captain. So that's just how quickly things can change in football as Schmeichel comes to the edge of his area and is put under pressure by Stevie May and just plays it out of play. So Livingston will have a throw in midway inside the Celtic half on the left hand side. Kerdy Nitsan and Pat Bonner bringing you live commentary of Celtic against Livingston in the Premiership. Celtic 1, Livingston 0. Marcelo Soracci with his first goal for the club. There's been numerous other chances for Celtic though. Jérôme Prieur, who has the ball now, the Livingston goalkeeper, has done an excellent game so far. Only played 22.5 minutes. He's kept his side in it, there's absolutely no doubt about that. We're expecting more goals though.
Yeah, listen, if you come here, you need your goalkeeper to play well. I didn't expect him to have to make so many saves so early in the game. I think he's probably had 4 or 5 excellent saves, and he looks very, very sharp. But you do need your goalkeeper to perform well if you've got any chance in a game. I know he's lost a goal, but it could have been 3 or 4 at this stage.
Well, Livingston have lost their last 10 meetings with Celtic in all competitions. The aggregate score is 36. Actually, it's 31-6 now if things stay as they are, with Celtic leading by that Marcelo Sirachi goal to nil. Rangers a goal up at Motherwell. St Mirren a goal up at Kilmarnock. There's just a delay in play here as a drop ball to Livingston, which now is back in play. Danny Wilson, it's his first start since just before the turn of the year. Again, Livingston under new management. Marvin Bartley's shaking things up. It's quite a strong looking bench, but some of their senior players are there. Mo Seelan, Jeremy Bakila, Lewis Smith, Christian Montano, all on the bench for Livingston. Marvin Bartley telling me beforehand he's going to have to go to that bench given the energy levels he's expecting his side to expend here at Celtic Park this evening, where they already trail by a goal to nil after 24 minutes. Little lull in the game at the moment. Schmeichel has it for Celtic. Livingston just trying to reorganise and maybe make things a wee bit more difficult for Celtic. It has been all too easy for them and they've forced a mistake there. Loose pass from Scales at the back all the way through to Jerome Prior.
He's looking for a bit of movement from Maeda, who didn't give him the movement. Then he tries to play a longer pass down the side of the centre half, but just overcooked it a little bit and that. But yeah, the game has just gone into a slight lull after that unbelievable start.
Well, it was incredible. It just would not stop. The opening 10 minutes or so, chance after chance after chance, primarily for Celtic, all rebuffed by Jerome Prior until on 15. Strong swerving shot from Marcelo Sirachi undid the Livingston goalkeeper, which gives Celtic a 1-goal lead. Similar scoreline at Kilmarnock where St Mirren are 1 up. Similar scoreline at Fir Park where Rangers have the lead. All of this, remember, after the drama of the Edinburgh derby last night in which Hearts came out late victors. Celtic fans are screaming for a free kick for Thomas Chvanchana, which he will get. Danny Wilson, former Rangers player, was all over him.
But that's the right ball to play. You know, they play it out well through the thirds of the pitch, Celtic at times. But that now is an option for them. You know, Scales getting the ball out on his left foot and he plays it up to Chvanchana. Big lad, you know, can hold the ball up and then get support there, and your one pass higher up the pitch takes you right up the pitch if it's a quality pass.
The Celtic forwards will be sniffing a goal, you fancy, this evening after all the chances that have been created in these opening 26 minutes, as well as the powerful shot from Marcelo Sirachi that has given the champions a slender advantage here at home to Livingston, and Celtic have it down the left hand side with Dyson Maeda. Again, Livingston get everybody back. Negri makes a run to the byline, and what's happened there? Corner to Celtic, I think.
Yeah,
indeed, number 5 of the game so far.
It was Danso that tracked him as he has to do as a midfielder. You got to go with the runners, and he just got a little block in and give the corner away. But again, a run off the ball by Negri into that sort of space.
Arne Engels with Celtic's 5th corner of the match. Big moments these, you fancy, for Livingston. They can't afford to concede another one. In comes the corner, headed away towards the edge of the penalty area. It's picked up by the Tunisian international Sebastian Tunekti. He has Emmanuel Danso for company, so Sirachi will have the ball on the halfway line where Callum McGregor can help him out and spread the ball over to the left hand side to the corner kick taker Arne Engels, the young Belgian who Nottingham Forest were prepared to pay £25 million for. Has been involved in a lot so far, as has Tuneki, who's on the ball just now. Good play from Tuneki down at the byline. The cross is a good one, and it's just stabbed behind, I think, for another corner to Celtic. Yeah. Referee, unless the referee's given a goal kick, which I think he might have. Maybe came off a Celtic player last.
Yeah, it might have did. Obviously we couldn't see it because there were so many bodies there, but it was a good bit of play from Tunekti, a 1v1 situation, and he beats I think it's Finlayson, and gets into a brilliant area, and just again when he's driven that ball across, it could have went anywhere, it could have come off anybody. It comes off the Celtic player and goes for the goal kick.
So Livingston,
I think Marvin Bartley will be happy. I know it's 1-0 at this stage, but he'll be happy considering the amount of chances that Celtic have had in this game, that it is only 1-0.
Yes, very much so. As Arne Engels has gone down there, potential problems for Celtic. They have the ball over on their left-hand sides, deep inside their own half.
Yeah.
Engels might have picked up an injury as Schmeichel delays and Livingston are pressing, and Araujo is put under pressure in his own box by a couple of Livingston players, and just after Arnie Engels played the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel, he went down. I'm not sure if he was tackled or if it was something innocuous that he did to himself.
He's just pulled his thigh muscle actually, as quad, and I think that's a problem for him. I don't see him carrying on here. They'll have to go to the bench. You know, if you've got any issue like that there, they've got plenty of people on the bench. You just take now. He's going to go off, and that's, you know, we were talking about him there. 25 million was a hell of a bid, wasn't it? You know, I was surprised. Maybe the circumstances about all the transfers and that probably put that to bed at the time. The timing of it wasn't right, but that's an injury that will probably affect him for a couple of weeks, I would think. You know, I don't know whether
he's coming to the halfway line. He doesn't look too bad, but it looks like he's on a chat with one of the physios to see, has he actually pulled a muscle? Is it cramp? Is he coming off? He's now chatting to Martin O'Neill.
He's off.
No, he's off. Arnie Engels is walking straight up the tunnel, so potentially bad news for Celtic as they have to do some defending just now. Livingston have the ball in the Celtic penalty area. It's belted away by the Celtic goal scorer Sirachi. It's now up to halfway as Livingston have gone all the way back to their own goalkeeper Jerome Prior, who's come well outside his area. Looks like Rio Hatate will be coming on as Celtic continue with 10 for the moment. Up to Nygren. Tries to play the 1-2 with Tuneki, who's done well there to spin away from his man, who does well. That's Kalangolo, who's put the ball out for a throw into Celtic, taken quickly, and Araujo just delays, gets the ball back to his goalkeeper, and Celtic frantically trying to organise that substitution with Rio Hatate getting stripped and ready to come on. So, drama here at Celtic Park. Arnie Engels, a muscle injury at this stage of the season. Absolutely not what Martin O'Neill would have wanted for the young Belgian midfielder. And he's already gone straight up the tunnel. We've played half an hour here. It's Celtic 1, Livingston 0. It was a whirlwind start, but things have just slowed down, you sense here. And Celtic were trying to pass their way forward, playing with 10 against 11 at the moment until Hatate can come on. Araujo has Tuneki wide on his right hand side. Livingston everybody back. Celtic patiently with Araujo.
Yeah, just Livingston just standing on the edge of the 18. You know, they're not pushing up when Celtic are moving that ball. They're just standing as a back five and just trying to deny that space in behind.
In comes the cross. It's a deep one. Livingston underneath it. Up goes the header. It's Ryan McGowan. It's kept in play though by Tuneki to Araujo, who has Callum McGregor just outside the penalty area on the right hand side. He plays it to the edge of the D. Shanchara comes out and gives it back to Araujo, right-footed. His cross is deep to the back post. Is it too deep for Sirachi? I think it is. Out it goes harmlessly for a goal kick to Livingston. 31 and a half minutes played, and now Hatate finally will come on for the injured Arnie Engels.
Yeah, listen, he has to perform. You know, I thought he started off the game well against Dundee, but then just faded out of it. So you know, he's a quality player, Hatate, over the period since he's been here. It's just, I'm not sure what's going through that young man's mind at the moment, whether he's fully committed to the club, or whether, you know, he might want to be thinking about moving in the summer. But certainly this period now, from now until the end of the season, he's got a huge job to do for on behalf of the club.
And at the moment he nearly gets his first touch as Livingston try and play through midfield, but will have to go all the way back to the goalkeeper Jerome Prior, who had those early fine saves to keep Livingston in the match. Couldn't do too much about the Sirachi pile driver from the edge of the area. That's the only difference between the sides, but Livingston will be heartened by the fact that, well, that goal went in on 15 minutes. We've now played nearly 33, and it's still just Celtic 1, Livingston 0, and Celtic have given it away. Ryan McGowan striking towards the edge of the area, looks for a little 1-2, and Livingston still pick up the pieces on the edge of the area. Stevie May trying to play a 1-2 with Macaulay Tate, and Livingston will have a corner kick.
Yeah, that's exactly what I talked about earlier on, when Scales had the ball in that same position on the opposite side. Just hit the front man, get yourself up the pitch. Trusty tries to play a ball into midfield. He's out of position, and they end up then losing it. and that gives Livingston the opportunity and to put pressure on them, and they've ended up winning the corner and putting themselves under severe pressure.
Big moments these for Livingston. Corner kicks taken by Robbie Muirhead to the back post to McGowan. Good header back, and it'll bounce right in front of Kasper Schmeichel. And no wonder Marvin Bartley, the Livingston manager, is cutting a frustrated figure. That was a brilliant chance for Livingston. Nobody gambled for that knockback header from Ryan McGowan as Celtic through Hatate get a free kick significantly inside Livingston territory and take it quickly. And Tuneki now is on the edge of the area. Celtic looking to press here. Tuneki's ball across is blocked into the arms of the Livy keeper. Jerome Prior will again end to end once more.
End to end, and listen, the corner when it was taken, they've always set up. The modern game now, set pieces are hugely important, but they've taken a leaf out of maybe Arsenal's book, all the way at the back post, but 3 or 4 of them, and then the ball's delivered there. Normally it's delivered into the 6-yard box with them running across people, but this time it was delivered all the way to the back post, but a free header back across the goal.
Celtic 1, Livingston 0 as we approach the final 10 minutes of this first half here at Celtic Park. Pat Bonner and Claire Nidson on BBC Radio Scotland. We are live online, and Celtic are looking to keep things live at the top of the table. Hearts winning last night, but Celtic are winning at the moment. So are Rangers. So it makes an intriguing live Scottish Premiership table with Hearts on 57. That is confirmed that as things stand, with Rangers a goal up at Motherwell, they would go on to 54. And Celtic, as things stand, the goal up would go on to 51. Maeda over on that far side gets support from his Japanese teammate, and it's played in by Sirachi. It's a good ball. McGowan, the Livingston captain, gets a good header away, but Celtic pick up with Callum McGregor midway inside Livingston territory. Now it's out wide to Hatate, right-footed. Ball, not a good one. Livingston can get the ball away. Muirhead under pressure though, and it's given away. Celtic pick up. Negrin on the edge of the area, right-footed, straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, Jerome Prior, who thinks about launching it long and then realises, well, the only person nearly up front is Stevie May, and even he was in his own half, so he just wants to calm it down. Prior, less than 10 minutes to go to half time, and still 1-0 Celtic.
Yeah, and you can see what's in Negrin's mind there when he got the ball. He's hungry for goals, and he could have easily maybe passed a little ball, but he took on the responsibility to have the shot straight at Prior in the Livingston goal, but it was an easy take for him. But yeah, listen, the next goal is critical if Celtic get it so early in the game. Still, what's that,
36 minutes played.
35 minutes played. But it hasn't happened, and Livingston will be happy at this moment in time that it's only 1-0.
Here's Maeda, plays a good looking ball across, and Tranchara was stretching out his long right leg, and he just couldn't quite get his studs on the end of that one there. Yeah. If he did, it was going in.
He was kind of almost standing in that position instead of driving into it, and he just tried to stretch. But Tuneki also has to be thinking about getting into the back post and getting beyond that sort of fullback and getting in there. But just Celtic, they probably have done well in this half. They've made the chances, they've taken one of them, could have been 2 or 3. Livingston, I think they've got the grips with those crosses into the box a little bit better now in the second part of this half, and they're dealing with the crosses.
Yeah, Livingston have definitely settled down the longer this half has gone on. They're a little bit all over the place in the first 10 minutes or so. Chance after chance after chance for Celtic, all saved by goalkeeper Jerome Prior. Then the Sirachi shot, which swerved away beyond him. And now, Celtic have fought 37 minutes on the clock with a single goal advantage. There's a lull around the stadium. They're just waiting for something to happen, and they're hoping it's going to be another Celtic goal. Trusty to Sebastian Tuneki on this right hand side with 3 Livingston players in front of him. Araujo thinks about playing in the run of Hatate, but instead goes back to Liam Scales across to Sirachi. Celtic playing patient football. Now they have it level with the 18-yard line with Maeda, comes infield and then back to Scales. Deep into Livingston territory now. Sirachi left-footed, it's deflected cross. Who's that come off last? I think Maeda. I think it's going to be a goal kick to Livingston, and still the Celtic fans are asking for a little bit more from their team. They want another goal.
Yeah, it was a good run from Maeda. He just tried to flick it with his boot as it comes across him, and just catches it all wrong and goes well wide in that. But I think, was there a deflection maybe off? Trying to think who it is there actually, just down injured, but I think it might have, did it
Scott Pittman maybe
Scott Pittman, yeah, absolutely, and I think that's who it is. Or he's got a bang in the face off the ball, or he's just injured in some way, I don't know, but he's down anyway. That gives a little lull to the game. And Marvin Barkley out on the edge talking to his players, but he will be happy with the way that they've settled down, because they looked as if they were going to get blown away early in this game.
Well, Celtic have had 16 shots in the match so far, 10 of them on target. Compare that to Livingston's 2 with 1 on target. Celtic have had 10 shots from inside the Livingston box.
And all on target. It's amazing that they haven't scored another goal, and that's down to good goalkeeping, I've got to say. Jerome Pryor really pulled off some excellent saves, and not alone did he pull them off, but he dealt with the ball, he knocked them away to safety, and he didn't allow somebody to come in and tap in on the second phase, and that's good goalkeeping for me.
The lull continues here at Celtic Park as some treatment is still being administered to Scott Pittman, who's still sat down inside his own penalty area. Now he slowly gets to his feet. There's a few of the Livingston players taking on some water and taking on some instructions as well from the Livingston technical area. Marvin Bartley will be reasonably happy, I would have thought, certainly with the last sort of 15-20 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I think these type of delays in the game helps this team. They just break it up a little bit and so on, and that's what you want from Celtic's perspective. They have to keep the intensity up. They've got to keep the pressure on them. They've got to try to get that second goal and kill off the game. I think he did maybe get a cut in the face or that, or the ball's hit him because he's changing his jersey, Scott Pittman.
Well, we've had all sorts today. We've had loads of chances. We had an early injury to Arnie Engels, who looks like he's pulled a muscle. He went off. Hatate came on. Pittman is now not just changing his shirt, but looks like he's changing his, I don't know if that's a heart rate monitor or whatever that maybe maps out how hard you're working, how many kilometres you've run, etc, etc. He's got to strap that back in, then get his jersey back on. Meanwhile, Celtic play on with 11 against 10. Araujo to Tuneki down on this right hand side, level with the Livingston penalty area, level with the 18-yard line, takes the ball for a run to the byline, can't get past Finlayson. What he can get is Celtic's 6th corner of the game.
Yeah, a 1v1 situation. Finlayson coming out and top this time, although he's given away the corner, but that's what you want from a winger, though. Just test that full back, and if you keep doing it eventually you will get past him. But if you don't do it at all, you just keep giving the ball back to the midfielders. There he goes again.
Tuneki chips it to the back post after the short corner. Liam Scales heads it back. Chance for Celtic here. It's not quite headed off the line, but not far from it. And Finlayson wanted a foul there. I think he felt that Liam Scales was climbing all over him. Referee agrees. Free kick Livingston. 41 minutes played, and still it's Celtic 1, Livingston 0.
Yeah, I agree with the referee. I think he was up above him, but he was using his hands. Liam Scales, he's a big lad, Liam. Finlayson's not as tall. I didn't probably have to use his hands to climb over him.
Prior in goal for Livingston has had far less to do in the last 15 minutes or so than he did in that whirlwind start from Celtic, where boy did they make the goalkeeper work for his money this evening. Save after save after save before he was beaten by Marcelo Sarachi, the Celtic left back, who's on the ball just now. Plays it down to Mair, who's made a good run, but he can't quite get control of the ball, and he thinks about giving that up because he thinks he's getting a corner, which he won't, because Cavangolo did well there for Livingston to just concede the throw in, but Celtic have it once again. Liam Scales back towards the centre circle, still inside Livingston's half though for the American international Austin Trusty, to the Mexican international right back Julian Araujo, back to the Irish international Liam Scales, the goal scorer. Sarachi back to Scales, looking for options just outside the Livingston penalty area. All the Livingston bodies are back, defending well, and Celtic have given it away. It's poor from Araujo, but he gets the ball back, wants to go to the byline. He's going to get a free kick there, because surely he's impeded by Stevie May, who's a picture of innocence to the referee, but that was a pretty obvious obstruction. It's a free kick to Celtic on the right hand side just outside the area, and a booking. I think the referee flashed the yellow card, didn't he?
He did indeed. Listen, it was a kind of almost like a professional foul. He kind of knew that he was beaten, and just using that experience to block him off, and I think that's maybe why. I'm not sure if it was a booking, but certainly a free kick. But but he's flashed the card at him, and yeah.
First of the game, I'm pretty sure, on 43 minutes, first card of the game to Livingston Stevie May. Celtic, though, have this free kick just outside the Livingston penalty area. It's about 20 yards from goal, just by the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed Nagan plays it in, nobody's gambling, it goes beyond the far post, and I think Benjamin Negrin's perfectly well entitled to think, well, that wasn't the worst ball.
Yeah, it was just a little bit
too much.
Yeah, a little bit too much. It just overhead to think if it was maybe a yard almost further out over the penalty spot. I think somebody might have been able to get on the end of it, but I was going to actually say that now with Ingles off, Tierney's not on also, and the two of them have been the ones who've been taking the corners and so on over the last period and been very effective. So I'm just wondering, will it be Negrin who's going to be taking everything now? He did score a great free kick, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Cracker at Tynecastle. There's an equaliser for Kilmarnock. Greg Kilty has scored. It's 1-1 there. Livingston are attacking here. Muirhead will win a corner for Livingston with 60 seconds left of the half, plus time added on, which I think will be a fair wee bit, given that we've had a couple of injuries.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at this corner again, the way they're set up, and are they going to again go all to the back post? You've got
Cabangolo,
yeah. You've got I'm looking at Danny Wilson, Ryan McGowan, and they're about 3 or 4 all the way to the back post.
In comes the corner now to that back post. It's the same routine, and it nearly worked again. Celtic will just about be able to get the ball away at the second or third time of asking. Sirachi clears, but it was a Livingston head that got there first. They'll have some defending to do just now as Maida will try and chase that all the way to keeper Jerome Prior, whose kick is not great, but it gets to a Livingston jersey just about. 2 minutes of time added on will start right now, and Celtic will be asking, the Celtic supporters and the management team I think will be asking for a little bit more energy from Celtic. They've been pretty flat since they went ahead. They're controlling the game in terms of possession and chances, but it's just a slender 1-0 lead as we go into these 2 minutes of time added on. The ball's played into the Livingston penalty area and then belted away. Scales in the middle of the pitch, out to that left-hand side where Hatati's taking control for the moment, comes in field and plays it out to Austin Trusty. 35 or so yards from goal now to Netke, level with the Livingston penalty area, 18 yards out, and he comes to the edge of the penalty area, has to go across field though to Scales, left-footed, he'll go out to the goal scorer Sirachi, decent ball in from him. The header is good from a Livingston point of view as they'll just delay too long though to try and get the ball away. Well, Stevie May now hits it off a Celtic player to Netke and it goes out for a throw-in. That delay there was nearly fatal, but Livy get away with it.
Yeah, and again, we talk about dealing with crosses. They've got the three centre-halves very experienced, and they've dealt with it. And they've dealt with it again on that occasion, just getting their head, getting first contact when Celtic were piling in top of them. But yeah, I think Celtic will be disappointed they haven't added to that one goal. They've made unbelievable chances, and the danger for them is it goes into the second half and then a set piece or a corner, as we've seen in a free kick. They've got the height, and when there's only 1-0, then it's danger.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Celtic would have fancied more goals in this first half. The number of chances they created and then scoring after 15 minutes. They'll try again here. Dyson Maida to Fanchara, tries to do a little spin turn. That's not going to be good enough though, and Livingston will get the ball clear. Kilmarnock have turned things around. John Jules on the score sheet after Kilty. Now it's Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 1, which is not good news for Livingston. If they lose here, they'll be stranded 9 points adrift at the bottom of the table. There's been a yellow card here as well. Now who's that for, Pat?
Liam Scales, I think. I think he overdid the arguing with the referee. That was the reason that he's booked him. I don't think it was to Callum McGregor. I think he's entitled to go to the referee and ask a few questions, but I think Liam's just got to walk away and don't get yourself booked, because now you're under pressure.
So Scales and May booked. 0-0 between Falkirk and Dundee at half-time. Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 1 as they edge towards half-time there. The half-time score here is Celtic 1, Livingston 0, because the whistle's just been blown, and it was full of energy, full of enterprise from Celtic. Certainly earlier on there was chance after chance. Callum McGregor, Dyson Maida, Thomas Fanchara, Benjamin Negrin, Maida again, Callum McGregor again, all saved by Jerome Prior in a frantic 14-minute opening spell. Celtic couldn't get the goal then. It did arrive though on 15 minutes. Marcelo Sirachi, the Uruguayan left back for Celtic, with a powerful shot that may have taken a nick off someone. Either that or had tremendous movement over the ball and on the ball. And Jerome Prior was stood there transfixed for the first time in the match, unable to keep the ball out. After that though, well, Celtic's chances dried up a little bit. There were a couple of decent saves from the keeper, but up the other end, a couple of corners were forced by Livingston and they made Celtic defend. There was a good save from Kasper Schmeichel earlier on in the match. Stevie May bringing that save out. And Pat Bonner, we think Celtic will be looking for much more in the second half. They'll be frustrated that it's only 1-0 at half time.
Very much so, but they'll be thinking about the positives. Keep doing what you were doing early on, making those runs. You know, if you make the runs, other spaces, as I said, will open up. But if you don't make the runs, it's all in front of Livingston. They're quite happy. They've gone back to the edge of the box. They're quite comfortable. But you've got to keep making little positive runs, and that's what Celtic will be talking about. But Livingston will be delighted going in at 1-0 after the amount of chances that Celtic have had, and this game's still in the balance.
Still in the balance. The Belgian midfielder Arnie Engels went off early with a muscle injury, replaced by Reo Hatate, so that's not good news for Celtic. The good news for them though is that so far so good in terms of a goal to the goods and in terms of being possession of all 3 points. As things stand at half time here at Celtic Park, but I think Martin O'Neill will be looking for more goals and more energy in the second half. So that's it from Celtic Park for the moment. Here online we'll hand you to Liam McLeod and commentary of Motherwell against Rangers for the final 10 minutes or so there, where Rangers are leading by a goal to nil.
This is Sports Sound.
To the left, that's a brilliant goal!
Celtic versus Livingston. Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
They face Aberdeen here on Sunday, and Aberdeen won't have played in 15 days by the time they rock up here on Sunday afternoon.
Now, I'm saying about Shermiti, but I'm going to ask you guys, is that a good save, wasn't it, from Ward as well? You know, we talk about how good he is with his feet, but you know, you're probably looking at it and you're saying that's a top save as well.
There's a ball through there for Gassama to chase. McGinn gets there first though, and a slap of the hands and frustration from JD Gassama, and Mother will clear up to the centre circle. Good footwork by Slattery, taking it out to the left of centre side. He's managed to slip it to Fadinger. He's got Longolo on the overlap. Now it's Longolo, level with the 6-yard line, takes a touch and crosses in, diving header away by Raskan. Collected here by Welsh. Side football to the edge of the box. It's worked out to O'Donnell on this near side. Breaks back here for Watt, who wins the corner off Diamonde. 37 and a half played. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
See, when they get the ball moving, they're so slick. It almost looks at times as if they've got extra players on the pitch. Clearly the rotations and the movements, they've always got a midfield player from somewhere in the pitch. They've got a midfield player, whether it's a wide midfield player, a centre, coming towards the ball to try and link up the play.
It's not just that, Stephen, it's sometimes it's just little individual play, you know, a little bit of magic where it's in the middle of the park in the final third. You know, that I want to know what they're doing in training.
Half-time Celtic Park. Celtic 1-0 up in Livingston as the Motherwell corner comes in from Longolo. It's headed away at the near post and behind for another Motherwell corner on this main stand side.
So many of the players are showing some brilliant individual skill. We're talking about the speed of the movement, the speed of pass.
And Stephen O'Donnell is at the top of that tree.
There's 2 or 3 things that Stephen O'Donnell's done already tonight. Absolutely top draw.
Here comes the corner. Same result at the near post. It's headed away. Breaks back to Longolo. Finds Slattery. Controls the under shoulder right angle of the box. Gets the cross in. It's low. It's cleared by Raskan again. Danny Rule will be grateful for the half-time whistle. I think the way this is going right now, well, Scotland's not had too many saves to make. It has been intense pressure at times. Motherwell have been too hot to handle in many aspects of the game, but Rangers have that 1-0 lead. And Slattery rolls it back into his own half for McGinn, who sweeps it to his left, and it's Fadinger out to Welsh and then rolled back to Ward. It's very difficult trying to keep on top of this Motherwell team and where the players are. it's a challenge in itself, that.
Well, they always say that you should only know the shape of a team when they don't have the ball, because when the team have the ball, they can do whatever they want, and that's exactly what Motherwell are doing. They've been given the freedom to do that, Liam.
I mean, I'm exhausted watching it.
Yeah.
I've been playing against that.
Well, it's trying to keep an eye on who's doing what and who's where. That's the intriguing bit for us. So you can imagine what the Rangers players are like on the pitch, and the rest of the players in the league trying to keep up with it. So
it's whoever's on the ball. They've always got about 3, 4, even sometimes 5 players coming to engage, looking for little give and goes, little kind of. They must work in that little phases of play, passing movements. And that's the beauty of them. They're always within that 10, 15 yards of each other.
Fouling by Rascan on the far side. I think they're wanting a yellow card of the Motherwell supporters. It's just a free kick. It's just inside their own half, left of the centre circle, as we tick into the final 5 minutes of the 45 of this first half. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. Long ball out to this right hand side. O'Donnell controls, trying to get behind Moore, not once but twice. Moore manages to get his head onto it, but O'Donnell's back onto it on this near side. Little ball in field, cut out by Chukwueze. And then Rangers clear through McHoma up this near side. Header won by Fadinger, but it goes straight to Diamonde and lashes it straight into the Motherwell half, where Paul McGinn gets onto it. And just taking his time. It's McGinn as he pushes it forward there to Fadinger. And then back to McGinn, to O'Donnell on the right, clips it into the midfield for Watts. Didn't really know where the ball was, but he manages to nick in there ahead of Rascan up into the air. Saeed with the chest down, and the foul by Watt. And the free kick to Rangers just to the left of the centre circle, inside their own half, as they protect this 1-0 lead. Though Danny Rule would absolutely love a second before the break.
Of course we would, and they had the big opportunity with Trimiti, but for all Motherwell's good play, and we're talking about them and waxing lyrical, I think Rangers have done well defensively as well. They've kept them at bay. Yesterday's balls have come into the box. They've had to rely on the goalkeeper, which you have to do on a general basis. So I think he'll be happy with the structure of his team in certain aspects. But when you play Motherwell, they force you, as I said, they force you to be better with the ball than what you have to be in other games, and that's where you've got to take care of it.
Motherwell famously without a home win over Rangers in a league match since Boxing Day 2002. Rangers therefore unbeaten in the last 31 league visits here. It's Tavernier with a long free kick into the Motherwell box, is headed away, breaks to Gassama, knocks it in field. It's a long ball into the box, breaks Sharmiti, headed half away. It's a poor header by McGinn, and there's a Rangers man down. Sharmiti, no penalty. As Callum Ward gets the ball into his gloves and pulls it out to this right hand side. Sharmiti stayed down, and at least he's gone back down. Saeed looking to work it back down the right. Fadinger goes down, hauled to the depth by Rascan. He might get booked this time. Stephen McLean goes into his top pocket. The card's coming out for the Belgian. No, Rascan booked. Motherwell free kick. It's about level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on this near side touchline. 42 on the clock. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
Yeah, just losing a little bit of discipline there. Rascan is already, it's a little bit, you could say, too fired up. Little one or two exchanges in the middle of the park with one or two of the Motherwell players, but there it's a clear foul, you know, and yeah, probably is a booking, but I think you just get the feeling, and they have been decent, they've been pretty good defensively, but you just get the feeling that Rangers are at full throttle just to keep up with this Motherwell side. But the important thing from a Rangers perspective, they have got that goal lead.
Well, Sharmiti's getting back to his feet. That's what the cheering in the background's for. He's seemingly limping quite heavily, still in the Motherwell box. Sharmiti, they could probably do with him getting back, use his height to defend this free kick. I'm not sure he's going to get back there in time. Anyway, Slattery and Just are over it. It's a yard or two away from the near side touchline, as I said, level with the edge of the arc of that Rangers box, as Motherwell look to try and find an equaliser before the interval. Two-man Rangers wall in front of it. Slattery looks favourite, does take it, right-footed to the penalty spot, headed away by Suter. Picked up by Longolo, slips it left-hand side, chance here for Motherwell with Paul McGinn. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. It's a goal kick to Rangers. It is 1-0 to Rangers, and we are just about going into the final minute of the allotted 45.
That was a pure choice from McGinn there, you know, he's inside the box, left-hand side. You know, he tries a little kind of Cruyff turn there, so he just played out Longolo there. he could have maybe just put the ball in the box. But you know, if Rangers go in at 1-0, I think they'll be relatively happy. You know, they could have had a second. Sharmiti, who's limping at the moment from that challenge, I don't know why. You know, he's a big enough lad, should be able to take a knock or two like that. But he had a glorious chance to get Rangers a second. Welsh, you know, with that mistake, it just bouncing up, presented itself well for him.
Just little moments like that, isn't it? You wonder how costly it may or may not be, not just tonight, but come May. As McGinn collects inside his own box, rolls it low to his right for O'Donnell, flips it forward, it comes off Rascan, but it's broken Maswinise's way. He spins 180 degrees facing the Rangers goal, then turns back the way to the halfway line. He finds Fadinger, who's managed to dig it out to Saeed. Good footwork, and he's tied Diamondi up in knots. Passes it through to Slattery. He might break back to Saeed. He's in, he shoots, it's blocked. Diamondi goes down inside his own box. There's no free kick coming. Motherwell play on. The shot's blocked by Suta. Was it by a hand? The Motherwell fans think so. It was Slattery, but the free kick eventually goes Rangers' way. As it was eventually lashed into the net. The Motherwell fans are out about us, are perplexed as to what that's for. As we go into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. An electric first half. It's been Motherwell 0, Rangers 1, and Rangers out of jail a little bit there because it looked like Saeed was going to do it all himself.
Electric, frantic, but I thought that was brilliant defending from Rangers. You know, getting bodies in the way. You know, Saeed, he's in past 2 or 3 there, but it's some old game. I'll give you that. You know, you can't take your eyes off it. You know, and just the quality that Motherwell showed, but as well, you know, I looked at the start lineup and I kind of questioned Rangers maybe defensively. I think Giga's come in, he's been excellent so far, and the fullbacks as well, been helped by Gassama and Moore. You know, been tracking back.
The second half of the other 3 matches will be getting underway in the next few minutes. Celtic 1, Livingston 0, Falkirk 0, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 1, all at half time, as this one is now, and it is Rangers who have the lead. They've played second fiddle for much of that first half to a vibrant Motherwell side. A couple of the home players are surrounding Stephen McLean, the referee, and they're wondering what that late free kick was for. I presume it did end up in the net, not sure who lashed it home, but the whistle had gone before it. Longolo, Just and Watt were all talking to the referees, being booed off the pitch as he makes his way towards the tunnel. Rangers leading to Nikola Raskan as he calmly rolled the ball home with the right foot into the bottom right corner for his 4th of the season. Could be a massive goal for Rangers as they try and reel hearts in, and what they will want is for Sunday to be a match that can at the very least take them level on points with the league leaders. And let's not forget, Hearts have been top of the Premiership all but 1 week of this Premiership season. That Rascan goal coming after Longolo had tested Jack Butland, and the rebound he failed to knock it home after the initial save. They haven't tested Butland as much as Jens Bertalascu would want them to have done in that first half, and Yusuf Sharmiti missed a glorious opportunity after a mistake by Stephen Welsh. Allowed Sharmiti in, his shot was saved brilliantly by Callum Ward, and again it was another rebound opportunity, but Sharmiti couldn't force it home. And that means at half time in North Lanarkshire, as we all take a breather after a frenetic opening 46 minutes as it was, it is Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 at the break.
The Scottish Premiership.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Yeah, just gone half-time at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. The second half just not far off at Celtic Park. Celtic against Livingston. Let's find out what's been happening there from Cerdine.
Plenty going on here at Celtic Park as well. Just the 1 goal though, and that's maybe the surprise stat as Livingston come back out for the start of the second half. Marcelo Sarachi with the all-important goal for Celtic, the first for the Uruguayan international left back. There's plenty of dip and moving on the ball. Not sure if it took a nick off somebody, but the goalkeeper Prior couldn't do anything about it, which is a shame for him, because Pat Bonner, prior to that, he'd made save after save after save from Negrin, from Maeda, from Callum McGregor. They were all in there. It was amazing. It was only 1-0 in 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, all inside that period, which was quite incredible. He made really, really good saves, and Celtic were flying at that point, desperate to get the goal. They eventually got their goal, but they haven't been able to to build on that. And listen, Stevie May also had a big chance for Livingston into the box. Good shot and save from Schmeichel. And I think their main threat is going to be from a set piece. You know, they've got big guys in the team. Celtic just need to put this game to bed, get that second goal, and then hopefully get a few more. That's their objective. But this game is not over by any means.
An injury concern as well for Celtic, because Arnie Engels looked like he pulled a muscle. He went off early, replaced by Reo Hatate. We're about to kick off for the second half here at Celtic Park, where it's Celtic 1, Livingston 0.
And they've kicked off at Rugby Park, Kilmarnock against St Mirren. Let's catch up with Chick.
We're into the second half here, David. It's 2-1 to Kelly. Remember, Saints ahead with back heel from Killian Phillips, but a quick 1-2 just before the break. Kilty scored with a header, then John Jones with a magnificent volley into a minute of time added on. He made it 2-1 to Kilmarnock. That's the way it stands for the change.
This is Sports Sound.
To the left, that's a brilliant goal!
Celtic versus Livingston. Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Welcome back to Celtic Park. We have just kicked off for the second half. Celtic leading by 1-0. Kerdy Nidsan and Pat Bonner with the live commentary on BBC Radio Scotland. We are online for you for the next 45 minutes or so to see whether Celtic can make their dominance and possession count, or could Livingston put the cat amongst the pigeons at the top of the table and get an equaliser and maybe more. Celtic on the attack at the start of this second half. We'll run through the teams for you in just a second, but let's see what this early Celtic pressure brings at the beginning of this second period. They lead by 1-0. Marcelo Saraci on 15. They've had chance after chance after chance. They haven't been able to take advantage or capitalise, and Livingston have pinched the ball often, but they've just delayed on it. Muirhead, they're surrounded by a couple of Celtic players, McGregor and Hatate. Livingston clear forward, and Araujo just about gets away with that. I thought Stevie May might have been in there down that left hand side, and the Mexican right back for Celtic invites Sebastian Tunetke to go for a run down towards a corner flag on that right hand side, which he does. Livingston have got plenty of bodies back. In comes the cross, it's towards Chmanchara. He's not able to really make an impact on this game so far. There may be time for him yet. The Czech, who's on loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach, already has a goal in Celtic colours, scored against Falkirk. You might have fancied his chances of getting a goal this evening. The number of chances Celtic have created.
Yeah, he's one. I'm looking at it to see what kind of movement he has. He's not a Kyogo. He's not that. You know, Martin was talking about Stephen Chara. Is he that out and out number 9? And he will hold the ball up and that, but it's the movement you're looking for. Somebody, he's marked, of course, by there's 3 centre halves in there, but you've got to move them around, find your space.
Celtic have it on this left hand side with Reo Hatate just on the edge of the area, plays a 1-2 with Nygren. Hatate points to where he wants Tunetke to go, and now Tunetke gets the ball wide on the right hand side, 2 Livingston players in front of him, cuts it back to the edge of the box. Araujo's there, back to Tunetke, still on the edge of the Livingston area. Callum McGregor looks for options, has to go back towards the centre circle to Trusty. Then Benjamin Nygren strides towards the penalty area, plays it to Araujo, plays a good cross in, and did the goalkeeper get a touch on that? I'm not sure. If he did, it's going to be a throw into Celtic. If not,
he did. I think he just got his fist to it just to help it on his way. Again, it was a decent run from Nygren. He just committed, ran with the ball, and that just, again, as I said, opened up a bit of space and put Araujo, and it just almost it was like a shot coming across the goal.
Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2, another for Killian Phillips. A great game down at Rugby Park. Here Celtic are playing the ball into the area, chance at the back post, nearly Livingston just about get the ball away. Tunetke was coming in at the back post, but Livingston clear, not too far though. Another wave of Celtic green and white pressure onto those gold shirted Livingston jerseys. Nygren thinks about a shot, he's at the edge of the area, he's crowded out though, has to go back to his captain Callum McGregor. Hatate delays and he's tackled and bundled to the ground. Nothing wrong with the challenge though from Stevie May. It was physical but it was fair. Celtic get the ball back though on that right hand side, midway inside the Livingston half. 2-3 passes to Hatate, has Scales to his left just outside the centre circle, still in Livingston territory. Sirachi, the goal scorer, down this left hand side to Maida, who goes down to the byline, left footed, plays the ball across, and Livingston should hack the ball clear. They will do up towards Liam Scale near the halfway line, does well, stabs it down towards McGregor, and Celtic pick up once again. Sirachi to Scales to Austin Trusty just inside the Livingston half, just outside the centre circle. Araujo right footed to McGregor. Again, Celtic's football and passing is patient. Hatate on the edge of the area, loads of Livingston jerseys back. Still Celtic have it through Nygren outside to the edge of the area to the goal scorer Sirachi, back to captain Callum McGregor.
Yeah, you know, they're patient, but they're not going anywhere. You know, it's in front. Somebody's got to, like Tonekti here, go and take somebody on and commit a player, because Livingston is very, very comfortable with that ball just being played from side to side and across in front of the 18-yard box, and the centre halves are just sitting in there.
Early corner taken, chip to the back post. Scales headers over the crossbar. Well, more like it from a Celtic point of view in terms of creating the chance. It was the 7th corner of the match. It was taken quickly from Nygren to Tonekti. The Tunisian chipped it up towards Liam Scales. He just couldn't quite get over the ball, headed it over the crossbar. First chance of the second half goes to Celtic. The score still Celtic 1, Livingston 0.
Yeah, just slightly got under it, didn't he? He was in maybe a half second too early and just couldn't get momentum as the ball has chipped across him, and all he could do is head it up into the air and over the crossbar. But it's just Livingston, you've got to move those three centre backs somehow out of there, sitting almost at the edge of the box, and just drop back onto the penalty spot, and they're quite comfortable, and that's Celtic are just playing that ball in front of them.
Here comes Celtic again, but that's well intercepted by Livingston, who might just about be able to launch a counter-attack here. Macaulay Tate doing well. He has Muirhead for company. He's got Scales in front of him and Sirachi, so Livingston have to go back. Kamangolo inside Celtic's half is hassled by Daisen Maida. Goes back to Danny Wilson and over to his captain Ryan McGowan. Captain this evening, but he started on the bench. Remember, Samson Lawal injured in the warm-up, so McGowan started for Livingston, and Arnie Engels pulled a muscle for Celtic early on, and he was replaced by Reo Hatate. Celtic 1, Livingston 0.
Yeah, good wee spell for Livingston. They're just been able to knock a few passes together and just working their way up the pitch, and they're getting in behind Celtic now.
Chance for Livingston here, and it's played unconvincingly away by Celtic to the edge of the area. Livingston will pick up. Oh, the linesman's flag goes up for an offside. I'm not sure if that was against Pittman for the run forward or Stevie May across on that left hand side. Frustration for Livingston, but better signs. We're able to knock maybe about 8 or 9 passes together, and they just worked their way from side to side, and then eventually getting higher up the pitch. I didn't see an offside in that build up, to be perfectly honest. I was a late call, I think, from the assistant. Maybe somebody on the sideline or VAR called it. Slight frustration as always when the play is allowed to continue. However, on we go. Celtic 1, Livingston 0. The visitors doing pretty well. They'll be happy enough with the current scoreline, given the total domination Celtic had in the first 15 minutes, where multiple chances were spurned. They did get their goal. They have not added to it. We've now played 52 minutes here on BBC Radio Scotland. Kerdy Nitsan and the Celtic legend Pat Bonner. And Celtic now coming forward with Reo Hatate. Chance here, can he get it across to Shvanchara? He can't quite get there. Not the best ball from Hatate. Celtic keep it in. Still the attack is live and ongoing. Over on that right hand side, Tuneki plays it back towards Shvanchara. He can't get there. Good defending from Livingston. Celtic showing a little bit more urgency. That'll please the manager Martin O'Neill in his 200th league match in charge for Celtic, his 299th overall. He's undefeated domestically in the 16 matches that he's been back in charge of Celtic, as well interim first of all, and then interim to the end of the season now. Yeah, that was a great opportunity for them. Brilliant opportunity. Hatate getting in behind. All he had to do was to square properly to Vanchara, who had done well, and I think he was in a brilliant position just to lay it into his path. Instead, it was a poor pass across the goal, and he was stretched. He was never going to get to it, and let Livingston off the hook. A booking for the Celtic captain Callum McGregor, as Falkirk take the lead against Dundee. Goals everywhere tonight. Celtic a goal up here at Celtic Park. The early one from Marcelo Sirachi is first for the club. Still the scoreline as we tick towards 54 minutes. Falkirk now a goal up against Dundee. 4 goals have been shared in a bit of a thriller at Rugby Park. Killie 2, St Mirren 2. And at Fir Park, the half-time score, Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. And that means that the live table shows Hearts lead reduced to 3 points. 57 to 54 that Rangers have, and Celtic 3 points further back if they can stay ahead of Livingston here this evening. They just lead by that Marcelo Sirachi goal to 0.
There's an opportunity for Livingston to put that long throw into the box again. They've got the big guys up, 3-4 of them, and yeah, Celtic have just got to do a bit of defending here, but
I wonder how long Martin O'Neill will leave it before maybe going to his bench, where a certain Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is waiting. Livingston are going to get a corner kick here for their efforts. That was a long throw in that Celtic dealt with, but at the concession of Livingston's third corner of the game. Now, the previous 2 corners Celtic didn't deal with all that well. It was a Livingston head that got to the ball at the back post, where Danny Wilson and Ryan McGowan are already congregating with Dan Finlayson. Celtic should know where this is coming unless they go to Cabongolo, who's kind of nearer the penalty spot. Here it comes. It's towards Ryan McGowan and Wilson. McGowan might get there now. He tries to chip the ball back in. He's done well. Up go the Livingston head. Celtic just about get it clear.
Penalty.
Now, penalty to Livingston. Reo Hatate clattered into Robbie Muirhead there, I think. And the referee, Callum Scott, quickly pointed to the penalty spot.
Yeah, it was one of them that it was half cleared by Trusty, comes down. Hatate's watching the ball, is coming down, and he goes to volley it, and Muirhead came in on his blind side, and then he makes contact with the player, and that's what happens when you don't clear your box off the first phase. And the referee, I could call it myself that he was going to give the penalty. Huge chance for Livingston.
It will be reviewed, of course, by VAR, but as things stand, Callum Scott has awarded a penalty to Livingston on 56 minutes. He's now pointing to the spot again. Robbie Muirhead was brought down by Reo Hatate. I think it's going to be Muirhead who will take it for Livingston. Drama here at Celtic Park.
Yeah, and it's penalty. Muirhead up against Schmeichel. Huge moment in this game. We did say a set piece could be a decisive factor for Livingston. Obviously this time is a penalty. It's a free strikeout goal against Schmeichel.
Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Jumps up and down on his line. Robbie Muirhead for Livingston. Whistles around Celtic Park. Muirhead waits. Up he comes. Left-footed Muirhead. Goal, Livingston! And Celtic Park is silenced. Brilliant penalty from Muirhead, drilled straight down the middle. Kasper Schmeichel couldn't get there. 57 minutes played here at Celtic Park, and what about this for a scoreline? Celtic 1, Livingston 1.
Yeah, listen, there was for a couple of probably about 5-minute period, Livingston was getting themselves higher up the pitch. Celtic weren't able to get that second goal as we talked about, and suddenly, you know, a corner, second phase ball, penalty given away, and Livingston have drawn level, and remarkable considering that first 15 minutes when Celtic had all those chances.
Superbly struck penalty by Robbie Muirhead, his 7th goal of the season. Could it be a big goal in the context of this title race? Celtic pegged back. They have paid a price for failing to convert those early chances. There were about half a dozen of them in the first 10-12 minutes or so.
Well, it's now about, do you take some off the bench to come in? I think they're probably going to do that, but they do need to create something to get this second goal. Otherwise, this could be a dramatic night in this race for the championship.
They do have loads of time, 33 minutes plus add-ons left here at Celtic Park. They also have goals on the bench you would fancy. Adamu is there, Oxlade-Chamberlain is there, and at the moment Dyson Maeda has it wide left for Celtic. Celtic Park is absolutely stunned. The goal scorer Sirachi plays the ball in. Negrin's touch, lofted high, and the goalkeeper Jerome Prior clutches the ball there. Well, that definitely did come off a Livingston defender. Looked high in the air, it was spinning, but Prior got there.
Yeah, it was fairly easy in the end for him. He just had to keep his eye on it, make sure that he was going to get good hands, and even though the spin was on the ball.
Celtic with some more defending to do here. Livingston fancy it at the moment. Cross comes in, it's Finlayson over there, Muirhead's underneath it. Negron will try and bring the ball away for Celtic. He loops it over to Tunekti, and Celtic being 10 back at the moment by Livingston, who are much improved. They were all over the place in the first 15-16 minutes or so. Celtic got their goal and you wondered, would the floodgates open? Well, they absolutely did not. So much so that Robbie Muirhead penalty has levelled things up here at Celtic Park. Sarachi up towards Hatate, who can't get his feet together at all. Well, not had the greatest of games, and now Robbie Muirhead, can he do Liam Scales for pace? Well, the Irish international's done well there, just to match Robbie Muirhead, the Livingston goal scorer, stride for stride, get it back to Schmeichel. But you just sense the atmosphere changing around here.
Yeah, and the frustrations come in. There was frustration there with Hatate, who tried a little flick when he could have done a little bit better with the ball, and those little things will just turn the crowd into a night of frustration. They know how desperate how important this game is. This is a game where they thought maybe they could build up a few goals with the goal difference. It hasn't turned out that way so far.
Well, Celtic are going to the bench. Martin O'Neill has seen enough. Kieran Tierney is coming on, and so is Junior Adamu. So Sarachi will be a like for like swap to get Tierney on, and looks like, I wonder if Tranchara is coming off and Junior Adamu coming on. Not been too impressive, the Czech, I have to say.
Yeah,
he's walked behind the goals, and he's taken the long walk round the other side of the touchline to let Junior Adamu come on, who got that late winner against Dundee. Kieran Tierney gets a round of applause from the home fans.
Yeah, well, listen, Kieran puts in some really good quality ball into the box. If he plays high up the pitch, where I think he will do for the most of this game. Livingston also going to the bench.
Yep, double sub for them. Sila coming on.
Experience.
Montano as well, Christian Montano. So that's two good experienced players for them.
You know what they're going to do? Just sit in there. Just get at midfield, and he'll be dropping in and into that sort of almost back line to help the Mo Salah. Big man.
So Celtic with a throw in. Kieran Tierney's first involvement in this match will be to take it. He might think about looping it long into the Livingston penalty area. He does so, and it comes. Livingston head the ball towards the edge of their own area. It's not particularly convincingly clear, but Scales will just bring the ball down and loop it over to Tierney near the corner flag on his left hand side. Back to Liam Scales. Infield to Callum McGregor. Celtic looking to get themselves back ahead. Remember, they've been pegged back as Araujo plays a terrible ball well behind Kieran Tierney, who bails them out by saving it from going straight out of play. And Celtic will try and build again through their captain, Callum McGregor. We've played over an hour now, 62 minutes played here at Celtic Park. In comes the cross, it's deflected into the arms of Jerome Prior, who throws himself down on the ball. And Martin O'Neill looks like a bit of a frustrated figure. He goes back for a seat in the Celtic technical area with the score at Celtic 1, Livingston 1.
Yeah, well, listen, he'll be looking to his new striker to maybe do something again for in this game and try and get the end of a cut back or a cross.
Schmeichel has hoofed the ball high into the air. It's untidy from Celtic at the moment. Livingston, having got that equalising goal, are growing in confidence. I wonder if they're thinking there could be an historic result on the cards this evening. Remember, the Lions have never won at Celtic Park. They've only beaten them twice in their entire history.
Listen, for them even to get a draw coming here would be a brilliant result, considering the position they're in, and the way Celtic are going for a necessary one. And of course that first 15 minutes was incredible, that Celtic didn't score more than one goal in it.
Junior Adamu, first touch for him is decent. Hatate spreads the play out to the right hand side to Araujo, who has Tunekti demanding the ball wide on that right hand touchline, nearly level with the Livingston penalty. Here comes back in field to Araujo, plays a good ball into Reo Hatate, spins, turns, to the edge of the area. Araujo right-footed to the back post, decent ball punched by the goalkeeper, and Livingston will survive. They're asking for a foul that I don't think it's coming, and Scales takes a touch down towards Junior Adama, who's just come on, the Austrian for Celtic. Back to fellow sub Kieran Tierney down close to the corner flag on the left hand side, comes infield slightly. Tierney still has it on his left foot to Nygren, edge of the area. He's been urged to shoot by the fans, but he's got no option to do so. Now then, Tierney crosses, drives it over. Another corner kick to Celtic, number 8 of the game.
Yeah, Tierney getting himself into a good position there. Nice little bit of play to get him in behind that defence, but again, good defending at the near post, making sure that ball doesn't come across.
Nygren will take the corner kick. Celtic keen to get themselves back ahead. 64 minutes played. Celtic 1, Livingston 1. Nygren with the corner. It's a good one, headed away though by Livingston. Araujo picks up in the middle of Livingston's half, assesses his options, goes back to the corner kick taker Nygren. Infield to the Celtic captain Callum McGregor. Out to that right hand touchline to Tunetke. He just is tackled by Montano. A little bit of a loose touch there from the Tunisian international. Needed it much closer to his right boot. Celtic take the throw in, and then a couple of passes, gets it to Liam Scales. Callum McGregor midway inside the Livingston half. Livingston everybody back. Celtic with Tunetke over on that right wing, comes back in field. Araujo to Callum McGregor. Celtic struggling to break Livingston down here. McGregor having to go back. Nygren back to Trusty midway inside the Livingston half, now spread to the left hand side. Kieran Tierney advanced in the left back position, gets the cross in, but it's well blocked by Livingston. It's going to spin all the way to Liam Scales, who will get it back to Kieran Tierney, level with the Livingston penalty area, but it's wide on his left hand touchline. Livingston organised, compact, disciplined, defending well. Celtic at the moment struggling to break them down. The game's tied at 1 apiece. Araujo takes a loose touch and just about gets the sliding tackle to regain possession, but at the expense of a throw into Livingston. Some howls of derision from the home fans, and Livingston will be making another substitution. Coming on for them is Yannick Vanner, the German forward.
Fresh legs coming on.
He was on loan to St Johnstone. Made a couple of League Cup appearances early doors for Livingston.
Yeah, Stevie May.
So Livingston happy to make the changes with Christian Montano coming on and Mo Sila, as well as Yannick Vanner now. The manager Marvin Bartley did tell me pre-match he was going to need his bench, and they have put in a power of work, Livingston, especially when you consider that they were absolutely under siege for the first 15 minutes, in which Celtic got their goal and created numerous great chances prior to that. Subsequent to which, well, it's not quite been so good. It's better now though, potentially, for Maeda. Plays a 1-2 with Tierney, chips the ball across, and they'll get another corner kick. Will this Celtic pressure pay off? Corner kick number 9 for the champions, but they are still pegged at 1 goal apiece. Taken quickly, Tierney to Hatate, back to Tierney inside the Livingston penalty area. All the Livingston bodies are in there. Compact defending from them. Can Celtic find a way through? Balls at the edge of the area. Rio Hatate right-footed, chips a poor ball, easily headed away by Momo Sila. Out it goes now to Tunetke, wide on the right hand side. Thinks about the first time ball, instead goes into the area. Now plays the ball across. Livingston once again are there. They clear the ball up to halfway. Not a single player is in the Celtic half, with the exception of goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, who plays it now to Liam Scales.
They're quite happy to have 9 players all within the 2 posts, just blocking everything off, and Celtic just struggling to get any room to play, and it's got to be in the wide areas where they've got to take somebody on, get to the byline, make a little run, keep doing them little runs, and eventually, as the game goes on, Livingston might just lose their concentration.
Here's Liam Scales now with the shot deflected. Celtic will get another corner out of this one. There was power in that from Liam Scales. One of the Livy players took a sole one there, and the corner's taken quickly by Tierney out to McGregor. To Scales. I don't know why Tierney didn't maybe want to play that into the area. In any case, Hatate, now it's wide on the right hand side with Tunetke. In comes across, right footed. Livingston head away. Cabongolo up to Muirhead again. He belts the ball high in the air. It bounces on the halfway line. Schmeichel comes miles out of his goals towards the edge of the centre circle to play it to Callum McGregor. Celtic 1, Livingston 1. Nearly 70 minutes played now, so Celtic frantically trying to get themselves a second goal. I think Araujo's run that out of play. Goal kick to Livingston. Marvin Bartley's waving on some instructions to his players. He'll be delighted to be at 1-1. Celtic certainly will not.
No, they definitely will not. And I see Martin O'Neill out giving direction to Tierney, but you're right. I don't think that corner should have been taken short, because that's what Livingston wanted. They just wanted it to be taken short, where the players in front of them get it into the box, get it into an area where at least if you don't win the first contact, you make it on to the second phase.
It's almost as though Celtic thought they had the game won on 15 minutes. They'd created 4 or 5 excellent chances, then they got their goal, since which time it's been pretty even, really, and Livingston's penalty, expertly taken by Robbie Muirhead, means that it's 1 apiece, so Celtic's lead wiped out. Hatate's made a run forward. Maeda's there for Celtic. Livingston just batter the ball up towards halfway, where Muirhead takes it on his thigh, does well there. First touch there for Yannick Vanner for Livingston. Celtic get the tackles in, but it's an illegal tackle according to the referee. One of the Livingston players has gone down in a heap. I think it was Araujo with the tackle.
Araujo, yeah. I didn't think it was a foul, actually, because I think he went in, got the ball, and the players just kind of went over the top of him, but the referees called it, and it just kills the game again, slows it down from Livingston's perspective, and very, very happy with that.
It's a fascinating evening in the Scottish Premiership. Celtic 1, Livingston 1 here. Falkirk lead Dundee by a goal to 0. Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2, and at Fir Park, Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. Livingston having equalised here at Celtic Park, the home of the champions. They're chipping the ball towards the edge of the Celtic penalty area, trying to put yet more pressure on that Celtic defence. Livingston have it near the corner flag. They're going to try and win a corner here, I fancy. Kabongolo going to try and play it off of Nygren. Well, he tries to take it along the byline, it runs out of play. The linesman takes his precious time to put the flag up. He gets there in the end though. Celtic will have a goal kick taken by Kasper Schmeichel. 70 minutes played, nearly 71. The Celtic fans urging their team forwards. They weren't expecting to be drawing with Livingston with less than 20 minutes of the regulation 90 to go. Livingston will go to the bench once again. Jeremy Bakila is waiting to come on. Maeda's made a good run down the right wing for Celtic. Can he deliver the cross? It's deep to the back post. Chance there for Tunecki, who swapped over wings. Tunecki to McGregor inside the Celtic Livingston area. Kieran Tierney tries to drive the ball across. It's come off a Livingston player. I think it's their, I was going to say it's their goal scorer. It's not, because Robbie Muirhead's right in front of me. One of the Livy players has gone down, maybe needing some attention. Perhaps he's been winded. Kieran Tierney drove the ball across straight into his midriff. Double substitution coming for Livingston, with Lewis Smith also coming on with Jeremy Bakila. It is all happening here.
Yeah, listen, it was a great chance for Tunecki at the back post. The ball comes to him. I don't know why he's passing the ball into the box. Go and drop his shoulder, get your shot away, and instead he gives the responsibility to somebody else when they're desperate for a goal. But yeah, Livingston going to the bench, just fresh legs again. They're going to just sit in there, try to get this precious point.
A point is what they have as things stand just now, with 72 minutes on the clock. Celtic 1, Livingston 1. Sarachi with the early goal for Celtic. Robbie Muirhead with the penalty equaliser for Livingston. This was not a game in which Celtic anticipated dropping any points in this ever fascinating race for the Premiership title. Led at the moment by Hearts from Rangers, with Celtic in third. Maeda's crosses deep to the back post. Tunecki will keep it in. He's got Kieran Tierney beside him. The ball's just outside the Livingston penalty area. Celtic penning Livingston back, but they're not able to create any real clear-cut chances at the moment. Austin Trusty to Araujo, back to Trusty. Livingston have everybody back in formation. Their discipline is good, it is strong. They're holding Celtic at bay at the moment. Dyson Maeda back to Araujo. The ball's just outside the Livingston penalty area once again. No real penetration from Celtic. Scales lets the ball run across him. Tunecki has it now wide on his left-hand touchline. He's level with the Livingston penalty area. Thinks about going to the byline. Instead comes inside. Kieran Tierney, left-footed. Again, there's two Livingston players there. The ball's back outside the area. Played into Tierney down the left-hand side. Looks for Hatate. Good control from him, back to Tuneki, but Livingston are defending well here. Now Kieran Tierney's ball in is a good one, punched by the goalkeeper. Chance for McGregor, the shot is blocked. Livingston everybody back, and the free kick goes Livingston's way, much to the fury of the Celtic support and the Celtic bench. And another Celtic substitute is coming on. Looks to me like James Forrest warming up, about to come on.
Yeah, that was good goalkeeping again from Prairie. You know, the ball goes in to a really dangerous area, and he was really committed, comes out, punches the ball away. The referee's just I don't know what he gave the free kick for. Did he give it for a handball when it came to McGregor?
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. In any case, just outside the Livingston penalty area, left-footed Jerome Prior, the Livy keeper, who's had an excellent match tonight, clears long. Trusty miscontrols, luckily gets away with it. Scales helps him out, but then he plays a poor ball, and Livingston will pick up. Well, the Livingston bench are furious. The Celtic fans called for a foul, which initially the referee did not give, then he did. Celtic have it on halfway. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is coming on for his Celtic debut alongside James Forrest. A Celtic go for a second goal. Tunetke's just outside the area, right footed from Tunetke. It's blocked away by one of the Livy substitutes, Mo Sila. It'll go out for a Celtic throw-in right beside the corner flag, taken quickly to Reo Hatate. Hatate's ball is curling to the back post. Falls to Araujo just outside the area. Tries to play a 1-2 there with Nygren. Araujo nearly gets it, but again, good, strong, solid defending by Livingston, but they can't hold on to the football. It's up at halfway with Austin Trusty. Benjamin Nygren out to Liam Scales in the centre circle inside the Livingston half as James Forrest continues to warm up, and the new boy Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is getting some instructions. Tunetke close to the byline, gets there, comes back inside, still Tunetke, plays the ball back, it's just beyond Callum McGregor. The Celtic fans groan in dismay once again, and Livingston will try and play the ball out down their right hand side. There's nobody there. Schmeichel comes a long way from his goal, and there was no way that Jeremy Bikila was going to get that one, and Liam Scales will pick up as the minutes tick down towards 76. Just 14 minutes of this game left for Celtic to find a winner, and for Livingston, well, either to hold on to a precious point, or maybe to snatch all three. Who knows? Celtic over the right hand side. Araujo thinks about a first time ball, right footed, instead comes back in field. It's patient from Celtic, but it's also a little bit laboured. Kieran Tierney over on this left hand side. Livingston back in formation, everyone behind the ball. Sebastian Tunetke thinks about going to the byline, chops back inside. Left footed Kieran Tierney spins it in, ball's headed high into the air. Livingston should clear here towards the edge of the area. McGregor brings it under control for Celtic. They pick up once again, but Livingston have everybody back. Celtic finding it increasingly difficult to break them down. Tunetke goes towards the byline, then chops in field, right footed. Hatate takes a poor touch again. A pass was never on there, and the Celtic fans in fury mode at the moment as Liam Scales makes a mistake and nearly gifts it to Jeremy Bikila, who would only have had Austin Trusty to beat. It is scrappy, it is untidy from the Scottish champions, who are being held 1-1 by the bottom side Livingston.
Yeah, they've got to put that ball in and earlier into the box. It's easy to read at the moment for Livingston. You know, everything's sort of in front of them. They're knocking it, passing it, they're taking an extra pass. Somebody has got to do it a little bit sharper, a little bit quicker.
Here's Liam Scales just outside the area to Kieran Tierney. Sebastian Tunetke faces another gold wall as Livingston have everybody back. Hatate brings the ball under control, spins round, needs help, needs support though, the Japanese. He's giving it to the Tunisian winger Tunetke. Tierney's first time ball towards the back post is headed to the edge of the area. Nygren left footed over the bar. The Celtic fans were claiming for something there, I'm not entirely sure what. There might be a roar now as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain comes on with James Forrest. Maeda comes off, and Araujo comes off. On comes James Forrest for Celtic, 34 years young, and here comes the ovation for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Celtic turn to an English Premier League winner, a Champions League winner, someone whose experience of scoring goals for England, for Arsenal, for Liverpool, for Besiktas Can he get the goal that Celtic require to get them over the line against Livingston?
Yeah, good question. Good question. Let's see. I don't think Adamu has touched really the ball since he's come on the pitch either, because it's not that type of game where, you know, everything is going wide, coming back out, going wide again, and there's never a ball that's put into an area for a striker to go and really attack properly.
Well, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's last goal came in December 2024 for Besiktas against Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce in the Istanbul derby, or one of the Istanbul derbies. What price a debut goal for Celtic this evening, who are toiling at the moment, 1-1 against Livingston with 12 minutes or so to go. And these are points, Pat Bonner, that simply cannot afford to be dropped by Celtic if they're serious about trying to reel in Hearts and Rangers.
Absolutely. You know, you cannot drop points, especially at home, against a team that's sort of languishing at the bottom. It's kind of almost throwing the dice here, isn't it, from Celtic?
Well, it looks like Reo Hatate has gone to right back alongside Trusty and Scales and Tierney, which means that Forrest will be on the right wing, Tuneki on the left wing, Adamu up front, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, who gets a good touch on the ball just now, gets it out of his feet quickly, gets a round of applause for his first touch in Scottish football, his first touch for Celtic, and they regain possession. And the new right back, Reo Hatate,
he won't play right back though. He'll play almost on the right side, high up the pitch.
Kieran Tierney's done well, gets to the byline. Can he deliver a good cross? And it comes. Couple of deflections. Callum McGregor's shot wasn't good, wasn't powerful, and it meant that Livingston were able to get the ball away. Celtic are being urged on by their supporters, who have a wee bit of a new lease of life, maybe with the introduction of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Tuneki goes to the byline, tries to chop inside, instead runs the ball out of play, and Livingston will get another precious breather for 20-30 seconds or so. We are into the final 10 minutes at Celtic Park. Celtic 1, Livingston 1 is not the scoreline I was thinking I'd be calling at this stage in the match, Pat Bonner.
No, absolutely, and incredible. But again, it was all with that first 15 minutes that Celtic had made so many chances. They had a few chances after that, but not enough to really threaten this Livingston team. And even now, with, you know, precious 10 minutes left, do you see them actually making loads of chances? Probably not.
They have gone right off the boil, frankly, after that first 15 minutes. Here comes Reo Hatate as James Forrest outside him. Forrest cross, first time, too close to the goalkeeper, Jerome Pryor, who dives on the ball, Superman style, falls to the ground, and there'll be an absolutely no rush whatsoever to get the ball back in play. We've played 81 and a half minutes at a slightly stunned Celtic Park. Kilmarnock are going goal crazy at home to St Mirren. Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 2. All the points are being wrapped up by the home side there, and that's not great news for Livingston, although their point here is precious. Oxlade-Chamberlain just dallies on the ball, but he does well, makes up for his mistake, and he wins the ball back. Celtic fans applaud the former England international, and it comes towards Junior Adamu. Livingston just scrambling the ball clear anywhere. It's backs to the wall defending from Livingston, who've barely been in the Celtic half all this second period. However, they've defended stoutly. Don't remember Jerome Pryor having all that much to do in the second half. And Livingston, of course, got the all-important equaliser from the penalty spot, from their sole corner of this second half. The Celtic pressure is constant at the moment. The Celtic fans are urging them forward. James Forrest delivers. Up go the heads, it clears to the edge of the Livingston penalty area. Liam Scales is trying not to foul his man. Jeremy Bukila goes down. The Celtic fans are furious, but I'm not entirely sure what referee Callum Scott was supposed to do there, as Bukila goes down under the pressure, the tackle from Scales. Free kick to Livingston, and still it's Celtic 1, Livingston 1.
Yeah, he just used his body well there, the big substitute, and just got himself between the ball and Liam Scales, and just waited for Scales to make body contact, and then goes down, and the referee gives him the free kick, and it just again slows the thing down.
Well, what a fascinating evening in the Premiership title race this could turn out to be, and at the moment not in a good way for Celtic. There's a head knock to Junior Adamu, who's gone down there, and that'll bring a little lull in proceedings. Mo Sila is the Livingston player beside him. Referee Callum Scott is just making sure he's okay. At the moment, the live table has Hearts, who beat Hibs last night, on 57 points, Rangers on 54 because they're leading Motherwell by a goal to nil, and Celtic on 49, so they would drop to 5 points behind Rangers with a game in hand, and 8 points behind Hearts with a game in hand. Not the Celtic plan, not the O'Neill plan for his 200th league game in charge, to drop points in a tight title race at home to Livingston.
No, that's not an equation whatsoever. You can't afford to drop points at this stage. We talked how precious every point is.
And this is hardly sending out a signal, Pat Bonner, to the rest of the league that Celtic are flying and in wonderful form. They just about got by Dundee in the Cup at the weekend. They needed a last-second equaliser from Junior Adamu. They might need the same again from the same player tonight, for all we know, because all of a sudden we're approaching the last 5 minutes of the regulation 90, and Celtic are being held by Livingston.
That's incredible. And, you know, it's they've had lots of possession, lots and lots and lots of possession in the right area of the pitch, high up the pitch, but they haven't been able to create chances in the second half.
Yeah, they've been nowhere near as good, Celtic, since they scored. Very good in the first 15 minutes. Half a dozen good chances, several good saves from Jerome Prior in goal. Then the goal from Sirachi, which is well taken, powerful shot. And since then, not a great deal. Livingston since then have equalised through that Robbie Muirhead second half penalty, and now Celtic are pouring forward in the last 5 minutes of the regulation 90. Kieran Tierney down towards the byline. Can he deliver a cross? He can, but it's not very good. Easily cleared by Pittman for Livingston. Celtic pick up with Scales. Everybody's inside the Livingston half. Livingston defending with, well, basically 2 banks of 5 now. Celtic struggling to break that down. They'll try on the right hand side with the veteran James Forrest. He scored in 17 consecutive seasons. Can he get another goal here now? Thinks about a shot. Still he's going. Stabs the ball pretty aimlessly towards the penalty area. Livingston will pick up, but they've not really got an out ball, and Hatate will win the ball back on the halfway line. He'll give it to Austin Trusty, who might return it to the Japanese midfielder, who's now playing over on the right hand side. And Liam Scales will venture forward, looking for support down this left wing from Sebastian Tunecki. He set up Celtic's late equaliser at the weekend against Dundee. Can he do the same again? Kieran Tierney helps out for Celtic. Back to Scales. Callum McGregor has the ball midway inside the Livingston half. It's now out wide right with James Forrest. Plays it out to Nygren. Can he keep the ball in? He just about does. Nygren plays it out towards Oxlade-Chamberlain. He can't get on the ball. It's played out for what should be a throw into Celtic. The fans are urging them forward.
It's almost very predictable from Celtic, isn't it? You know, if you're out there on the pitch, you know exactly where the ball's going.
Livingston
it goes wide, then it comes back, then it's over the other side.
Here it comes now. James Forrest chips the ball towards halfway. Livingston will delay the clearance, delay it once again. Oh, they've given it to Nygren. Left-footed shots blocked away. Livingston dicing with death there for the moment. They've given it back to Celtic. James Forrest has 2 players round him. Comes all the way back to Trusty outside the area. Misplaced pass from Forrest, but it didn't go too far astray. Celtic still have it. Tierney nods it down to Liam Scales. Livingston have everybody back, so even if Celtic do get it into the area, there's plenty of gold shirted jerseys there for the visitors, who are clinging on for dear life here at 1-1. Celtic desperate for a late winner if they can fashion one. Edge of the areas, Reo Hatate looks up for his options, has to come to Liam Scales, thinks about a shot, instead goes wide once again to Tunecki on his right foot. He curls it to the back post. Livingston clear to the edge of the area. Hatate takes a touch to James Forrest. He tries to blast it across, blocked by Livingston. No way through, say the Livy Lions, who are roaring in defiance. Forrest on his left foot tries a shot, blocked away. Did it hit a hand? Ask the Celtic crowd. I don't think so. Referee Callum Scott unmoved On we go. Kasper Schmeichel has the ball. We've played nearly 88 minutes here at Celtic Park, but it's still 1-1. Reo Hatate, right-footed, delivers a poor ball that's easily gobbled up by the Livingston defence, but they'll delay the clearance once again, and it's not a great one. Comes to Austin Trusty on the halfway line. Everybody inside the Livingston half. Still, as Tuneki's under pressure, he's fouled there surely by Finlayson, who protests his innocence. I'm not entirely sure why. It's an obvious free kick to Celtic with time running down at Celtic Park.
Yeah, there will be an extra time, I would assume, with the amount of subs that has gone on, but to leave it this late again to try and get the 3 points. They got away with it against Dundee. Will they get away with it again?
Well, some of the Celtic fans have seen enough. A few people are leaving. They want to beat the traffic. Maybe they're a bit nonplussed with what they've seen. Free kicks taken quickly. Negron, edge of the area, right-footed from distance. It's powerful, but he just can't keep it down. It sails harmlessly over the crossbar, and we tick towards 89 minutes at Celtic Park. We're still the scoreline, remarkably. It's Celtic 1, Livingston 1.
I don't think Adamu has touched the ball. I can't. Can you remember him touching the ball since he's come on?
Couple of touches, but nothing in the penalty area. Nothing remotely dangerous. Not really been able to get involved. Chanchara before him wasn't really able to get involved in the game either. The Celtic fans are furious because they feel that Jerome Prior isn't getting the ball back in play quickly enough. He does so now, and we await injury time. Time added on by referee Callum Scott. The ball's on halfway. Now it's played forward to James Forrest, who's level with the penalty area, and it is to Negron inside the Livingston penalty area. Is there a chance here for Celtic? He delays. Livingston get a block, headed high in the air. Livingston get it to the edge of their own penalty area. There's a shove on the back there of Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I think it might have been the other way around, or one of the Livy players has gone down. In any case, upshot is free kick to Livingston, and the time ticks towards 90 minutes. How long is going to be added on, and that will tell us how long Celtic have to try and get themselves a winner here.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the board to go up at this point in time, and obviously Livingston just taking their time. Goalkeeper playing it along.
6 minutes have been added on at Celtic Park. Those minutes start now. That's why a big cheer's gone up. The Celtic fans are quite happy about that. They'll fancy their chances of getting a goal in 6 minutes. They saw a very, very, very late one against Dundee in the Cup. How late, if there is one, will it come this evening? Livingston have everybody back. Negron delays before going to Forrest, gets it back. Celtic trying to find a way through a packed Livingston defence. 2 banks of 5. Livingston defending their box for all they're worth. Tuneki to the edge of the area. Oxlade-Chamberlain! Oh my goodness! Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain curling right foot effort from the edge of the area into the left-hand post. What a way to mark your Celtic debut! What an introduction to Scottish football for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, already a match winner for Celtic.
Oh my word, what a good strike too. Just opens up on his right foot, about 20 yards out, and just bends it round the goalkeeper, who had no chance, and into the left corner of the net, just inside the post. What a remarkable introduction to Celtic Football Club. Just picture up, round about 19 yards out, just bends it round the goalkeeper. Beautiful technique, pace, power into the corner. Unbelievable.
A huge roar goes up around Celtic Park to greet their new hero. He scored for Besiktas, he scored a barrel load for Arsenal and Liverpool. He's got 7 goals for England. He now has a goal for Glasgow Celtic, which was greeted with the most furious roar, with a touch of relief added in there as well, because that goal came close to 92 minutes, but Livingston are pushing upfield, and I thought they had a corner kick there, but the referee has given a free kick against one of their players.
Yeah, I think the free kick on Hatate, who's in it right back, as you said, right wing back or right back, you could call it, and he just had to do a little bit of defending there, which was not what I think he was expecting, but the foul was given against him. But This is an incredible finish. Celtic, we did say, are they going to get off the hook again? It has happened. It was just quite incredible. Struggling in this game, struggling to break down a dogged Livingston team, and that man comes up with a beautiful strike, a beautiful goal.
Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 3, I'm hearing, in an extraordinary game at Rugby Park as Junior Adamu's foul there. Is he? No, says the referee. The Celtic fans can't quite believe it. We play on here, 93 minutes play. Celtic 2, Livingston 1. Motherwell still trail by a goal to nil against Rangers. They are also down to 10 men.
Yeah, the fans giving out here that Celtic thought they had a free kick higher up the pitch. Now they've given away a free kick, and Livingston put everybody forward in to that box, and the goalkeeper's come up to take the free kick, which is about 10-15 yards inside Celtic's half. It's going to be played right into that penalty spot, I would assume.
Make no mistake, this game is not done. 93 and a half minutes. 2-1 to Celtic. Kilmarnock have beaten St Mirren by 4-3, so as things stand, they are 9 points clear of Livingston. Livy rooted to the bottom, 9 points adrift, unless they can get a goal in the final 2 minutes here. We tick over 94 minutes. Celtic 2, Livingston 1. Jerome Prior looks like he wants to play the free kick short. Instead he chips it towards the edge of the area. Can Celtic defend this? Up go the heads. Livingston are still playing with it in the Celtic area. Shot comes in over the crossbar. Oh, what a chance for Pittman, for late glory and late drama for Livingston. He really should have kept that down and at least made Kasper Schmeichel make the save. Instead, the veteran Livy midfielder blasts it over the crossbar, much to the relief of everybody who's still in Celtic Park.
Yeah, after it was bobbling around, it comes to about maybe on just inside the box, and it just, you failed to get over the top of it, and it just goes about a foot over the crossbar. Incredible finish to this game. Carolina.
Falkirk 1, Dundee 0 is a full-time score. Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 3, also full-time. They've got about 7 or 8 minutes to go plus stoppage time. It's 10-man Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 here at Celtic Park, thanks to a fabulous debut goal from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It is Celtic 2, Livingston 1, but still we play on. Livingston fancy their chances here of yet more drama in stoppage time.
Yeah, another free kick, this time in the Livingston half, about the same 10-15 yards in. Now it'll be pumped forward from the goalkeeper. Can Celtic defend it? Can Livingston get on the end of it? Similar to the last one.
You cannot take your eyes off this one for a second. Celtic lead by 2-1 in the final seconds of stoppage time here, but Livingston have a free kick. Their goalkeeper will take it from roughly the halfway line, chip towards the edge of the area. Livingston head wins it. Rio Hatate turns his back there, goodness me. Well, he's lucky that dropped to a Celtic player.
I think he was afraid because, he gave away the penalty, and I think he was just scared in case.
There goes the final whistle. Celtic, you sense, have got away with one here. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, the hero on his debut for Celtic, bending one in from the edge of the area into stoppage time. The Livingston players are furious. They're surrounding the referee, who's booking a couple of their players. You can understand Livingston's disappointment, you can understand their anger, but it's joy mixed with relief here at Celtic Park, and it's thanks to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, the super sub, coming on and getting the goal that put Livingston away. It looked early on as though Celtic would be coasting through this game. Chance after chance after chance in the opening 10 minutes, all well saved by Jerome Prior, until Marcelo Saracchi hit one from the edge of the area, which completely wrong-footed the goalkeeper. Celtic had their lead, and then they switched off. It looked like they thought the game was done and dusted and already won. Livingston gradually played their way back into the game. It was 1-0 still at half-time, and then afterwards, the foul from Hatate, who'd come on as a substitute after Arnie Engels early on pulled a muscle. Hatate gave away the penalty. Robbie Muirhead slammed it down the middle past Kasper Schmeichel, and then we had an almighty shock on our hands, because it wasn't until roughly the 92nd minute when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain showed exactly why Martin O'Neill wanted to bring him in as a free agent. He wanted him to add a little bit of something, to add a spark, a bit of quality, and importantly, to add a goal. Well, it's played one, scored one for Oxlade-Chamberlain after he bent one beautifully beyond Jerome Prior, who's potentially the unluckiest man on the park because he had such a good game, the Livingston goalkeeper. But there's many a goalkeeper better than him that would have been able to do absolutely nothing about the quality and the placement of the shot from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he is the hero for Celtic as they beat Livingston by 2-1. Pat Bonner, it's relief all round here, but in the context of the title, that's a massive 3 points for Celtic.
Oh, listen, it had to be 3 points. Nothing else would do. But he left it so late again, and a bit of quality at the end to win it for them. I'm not sure what Livingston players were giving out, but was it just that they thought maybe the referee blew 30 seconds too early or something? It wasn't relating to a chance or a penalty or anything of that. It was just maybe the time element. But anyway, Celtic get away with it. You've got to say they left it late. Is this going to be the way it's going to be all season at the end of the season? I'm not sure my heart will take it, and I'm not sure the fans' hearts will take it. But it's incredible. It's incredible. We have drama in Scottish football all the time, and this is more drama here tonight. But another result for Martin O'Neill.
And we have another big name to talk about in the Scottish game. It's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He already has a goal for Celtic, and a decisive goal, and a wonderful goal. It meant here it finished at Celtic Park. Celtic 2, Livingston 1. We're